How do you envision the state's role in helping school districts continue to strengthen their specialized, gifted, and talented programs?
So like I said, I think that going back to kind of like what the mayor just said, like we can develop these programs, right, at the district level. I think the state coming down and imposing a very like strict step towards how we're actually going to address that is the wrong mentality. Like we don't like it when we're talking about STAR testing, but then we like it when we're talking about like different various programs. I think the more buy-in, the more district input that we're going to have in actually catering these needs is the best platform. Because you're going to have people who are going to be gifted in different ways. You're going to have people who are going to be talented in different ways. And you're also going to have different communities with different needs. So we're going to have a lot more community development in how we're actually going to address that and how we're going to grow that.
Thank you very much. Ms. Edmondson.
Well, I do hate to see any cuts, especially cuts like that, made in any programs, but I do also believe that, again, this is a local issue and local ISDs need to determine what is the program that best suits the children in their districts and then implement those, and hopefully we as a state provide enough funding in the monies they receive that they're able to implement those programs.
Thank you. Mr. Whitfield?
I was fortunate to have a discussion just about 2 or 3 weeks ago with a gifted and talented teacher at one of our elementary schools in HUB ISD. And she was concerned about these cuts in funds, but I know that our school districts are having discussions about how they'll bridge that gap, make sure that we can provide the services for every child of every learning style throughout our school districts. And I know that it's not just HEB, that every school district is going to be facing this challenge. So I would come back to the point we made earlier, and that is we who attempt to be the representatives at any level of government absolutely need to listen to our teachers. We need to listen to the frontline educators about what they need to serve our children.
Thank you. Mr. Ritter?
Yeah, so restore that funding, because gifted and talented programs are where the next geniuses of this state are going to come from. We shouldn't be trying to mold the child to the educational experience. We need to go about it in the exact opposite way and mold the educational experience to the child. Now this is challenging, it's not easy, it's complicated, and sometimes it's expensive, but think about it. If you want to develop the future of the state and you're still training all of your students to be manufacturing jobs, I think you're going about it the wrong way. So whatever it takes to restore that funding, my daughter loves her G&T program, so do not cut that for her. She needs it. I'm telling you, she needs it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Griffin?
Yeah, so it's unfortunate that the funding was eliminated, but in all our school districts, I mean, you're going to have different paths forward to your education, and gifted and talented is one of those. I know in GCISD they also have the Aspire Academy, which my wife has that at her elementary school. So I know there's various different pathways to getting an education. We need to find a way to take care of that. I know in some other states they cover the gifted and talented under the special education funding piece, but I think it's important to have multiple pathways for those students to be able to get an education or a trade or a talent or whatever they need. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Virginia?
Is anyone here from GC Sage? Okay, well, you should give yourselves a round of applause because you were probably the loudest and the most impactful when it came to this conversation we had during the session. We cut the allotment, but we haven't cut the program, right? So what happened is the GT allotment, which was an additional weighting for kids who are in the GT program, we added significantly more dollars into the basic allotment. And so it's not really as a cut the program. In fact, in the recent update I got, there actually net have been no reductions in total number of students in the GT program. That being said, because of GC Sage and some other folks in here, we worked really hard to make sure that we kept, as much as we could, some Band-Aids in and some protections to make sure that schools do the right thing and keep the gifted and talented program going.